Good morning. Today is the 6th of March 2024 and I'm going to go through my trading plan for today and pick up some levels, got some decent levels today. However, before we start, I'm just going to go through today's economic calendar and just remind you that we've got big data drop at 10 job openings. We've got Fed Powell speaking as well at 10, so 10 a.m. could be a major price movement. Oil at 10.30, so if you're in oil stocks, keep an eye at 10.30. And then we've got Fed speaking again at midday, 2 o'clock and at 3:15. So those are the times to bear in mind, because we might see some market movement. Okay, so on my screen is the ES chart or the MES chart, they're both the same. This is the S&P index, S&P 500 index futures. And we can see yesterday we had this quite a big sell-off, and we're kind of having a bit of a bounce today. Open up my pen. And we've got some decent levels. Just recap yesterday's levels for a second. Yesterday we were watching a rejection around this area, or in fact I was looking for a bounce in that area first, and it kind of came. We kind of had it there in the pre-market. And the bottom of this demand zone also bounced quite nicely up to the 20 moving average, which was yesterday's high. And I wasn't really very astute on this, but that could have typically been a decent rejection area as well, top of that rejection zone. And you can see the big move we had down. You can see we had a bit of movement around that level we was watching, which was 50.93. 5100 kind of broke straight through that, so that came back up, retested it. We retested the trend line. This is the 60-minute trend line. It goes back to October last year. So that trend line there. And we also tested the 200 moving average as well. So there's a few areas we could have taken. The break and retest of the 200, the break and retest of the trend line. I went on a bit of a tilt day yesterday. I was trying to go long. I was using these levels as bounce areas, and the only place that did work was this bounce area here, which I did okay on. But obviously it was a red day overall for me, because I tried too hard to go long and I just couldn't process we're having a red day, and I should have just been playing my levels. I always say use this level as a bounce area, or if it breaks down below, use it as a break and retest low. But I didn't wise up to that yesterday, so hopefully today will be much better. We came into that area yesterday, we saw the big bounce in this demand zone, which shows that area is still in play. That was a decent trade for me. Shame it was at the end of the day, and I held it until, in fact I held it up to there, and I got out. I think as we started seeing the 5-minute pullback, I got out there, so that's a decent trade, which shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been trading that time. I should have been done. I need to end my days by midday at the latest. So let's talk about today's levels. First of all, just disclosure, I'm in this rejection right now in the pre-market. So I changed my strategy a little bit. I was using a 10-tick stop, and I was getting in with free contracts and stopping out after 10 ticks, and that was causing me all types of problems. So what I've changed it to instead is I've got a 10-tick stop. I've also got a 25-tick and I think it's a 25 and a 30-tick stop. So if I get stopped out on that stop, then as it comes back down, I'm looking to add that back again, which I've just happened this morning. It's actually right now. In fact, I can probably go into it. Okay, I've not quite got to my ad yet. So this is my trade at the moment. My entry was 51.14, and I was in this trade originally because it come into that area, and short. And my first target was there, and we saw a big spike down, lots of movement, lots of news. It came straight back out, and I didn't like it, so I just got out around break even, and there was no news at 8:30, so I don't know where that came from. And then so I was watching order flow, and I got back in at that level there, and I took I had a stop just there, and I should have 3 contracts. So my first stop was there. That was 10 ticks, and I've got 25 and 30 ticks there. And then I've got another add now, happens to be 10 ticks later, it happens to be my break even area, so I'm adding, if we come back down, I'm adding back into it again. And then my target's 3R, and I've got a target, oh that's 10R, in fact there should be a 5R. Yes, oh yeah, I'm down to 2 now, that's right. I have a target 3, 5 and 10R, they're my targets, so I'll just keep an eye on this. So that's basically what I'm watching at the moment for this trade. It's high risk because it's in the pre-market, and I'm just looking at the order flow right now, and we saw a big sell. We got some selling imbalance, and the other thing that I quite liked, I took a screenshot of it, and the other reason I quite liked this trade was because of this. So we can see we've got this divergence. We've got increase in price coming into that level, and we've got decrease in cumulative delta, which means as the price is rising, there's more aggressive selling going on in these candlesticks. So we've got aggressive selling there, kind of a neutral one there. We had a few buyers come in, and we started to get back into the aggressive selling side there as well. So doesn't always mean a green bar, like for example this green bar here at a -6 imbalance. Sorry, there's -6. There's more aggressive sellers than buyers. The same for this bar as well, and the same for this bar as well. So that's kind of why we can see this divergence. That's kind of why I was keeping an eye on it. So that's it. That's the trade. I'll just go back to my plan for today. So what I'm watching for is I've got this rejection right now, and I'm going to cut it tight. I'm going to cut it if it breaks over, basically just 10 more ticks above where we are now. Because in my plan I want to watch for a break and retest of this area long to continue this kind of uptrend that we're seeing in the hourly. So that's if we do pull back, then I'm watching this 50.93 area for a bounce. So we've got tops of candles here. It's kind of yesterday's close area as well. Bottoms of candles, and it's where all the volume's been trading in the last few days as well. We've got the point of control going straight through that area, so we kind of have natural support below. And it's an area we've been watching for a while now, and so that's why I'm waiting for a pullback to here. And obviously we've got the double bottom back down in this area of demand. Yesterday's low at 50, 63, 50, 62 area for a bounce. And that's it really. I don't really like any rejections yet. We're back over the hourly 50, so I should really be looking for longs apart from this. This is a pre-market speculative rejection because it's coming in to a level I was watching as well. We'll see what happens on the market. If we come back down below the 50, we can look for shorts, and if we stay above this 50, we can keep an eye for longs. Or longs should be the preferred or the higher probability trade if we're above this 50, and short should be the higher probability if we're below this 50. A bit like yesterday, we were below that area. I even said in my pre-market video, now we're below the VWAP and we're below the 50. I should be looking for shorts, but I didn't. I was going for longs. Don't know why. I was impure. I think it's because I saw this. We saw the 8:30 candle, the 10 o'clock candle. This one push up, and in my mind that was a big green bar on the 5-minute chart, and I was just thinking, oh, we're going longs, we're going to break the high and can continue up. So I don't want to get into that bias anymore. I just want to trade the chart, and you know, at the moment I should probably look to get out of my trade because we are now above this 50. Kind of wasn't when I got into it, but anyway, keep an eye on that. So that's my levels. Just a recap: looking for a bounce down here at 50.68 to 50.64. Look for a bounce at 50.93 area, 50.94 area, and I'm looking for a break and retest of where we are, the pre-market high. And then rejections, the only place I can reject is all-time highs and 51.46. This level here, no, I don't like that level. Let's get rid of that one. It was because of that bottom pivot. I just want to keep it as simple as possible. So we've got that level, this level up here. So 50, 56, 50, 51, 50 is a rejection area. And we've got our bounces. I like the bounce down here like I did yesterday because we've got this lots of touches of the same area. and not much volume, but we can keep an eye on that. Okay, looking at SPY next. Basically same levels as yesterday as well. We're watching for 50, 25, 507, 25 area, 507, 23. I've got it marked up for a bounce. That's area confidence, bottoms of candles, tops of candles, bottoms of candles, and then here we've got bottoms and tops. It's also on this yellow line is a monthly trend line, and we kind of pierce through it, come back down through it again, and this monthly trend line goes back 24 years to almost to the month. And so I'm not sure whether we're going to see significant selling at some point, but you know, we've not seen it yet, apart from yesterday we sold off, but we need to close below that trend line and maybe see a bit of a pullback on the daily. So let's go into the daily. In fact, let's go into the weekly. So this is the weekly, goes back to March 2000, and then we obviously had December 2021, and then we're right up here now. We're kind of right through it, and you know, we had big reaction the last time that trend line was there. I know that's our first point, and so maybe we can expect a similar reaction back up here as well. And if we do pull back, we've got this pivot for potential, which is 480 for potential bounce area. That's a monthly one. So just want to bear that in mind. It's the same on SPX as well. So let's go back to the hourly. So hourly levels are a bounce if we come back down to this area, 507.20. Obviously, I quite like this area for a bounce. I'm going to move this level. I kind of like that area. Taking yesterday's that area there. Taking yesterday. There we go. Yesterday's low, yesterday's high, I meant, and we've got all these touches down here. So if we get back down to this area, that's 505, 504, 50 area. Looking there for a bounce, and then obviously the break and retest. Maybe not pre-market high, maybe yesterday's high, that area. So this entire area, and then we can possibly watch for. We can use 512 as a target, and that on that trend line. But we've got a rejection at the all-time highs, similar to MES or ES. We've got 513 for a reject. Let's just put that in. That's that pivot there. Why can't I select? Here we go. That area there. And that's kind of like a pivot there and a pivot there as well. Okay, so NQ next. Kind of the 50, I do quite like this rejection area actually. 18,116 for rejection off of this 50. Kind of could be putting in a bit of a bear flag. Looks a bit weaker than ES, MES. So kind of like that area for rejection. We've got pivot there as well, and kind of this top here, tops here as well. So kind of an area I like. And then if we bounce down, I kind of like the double bottom of yesterday's low, kind of coming into that area again. So let's just put that there, around about that area for a bounce, 17,892. And that's it really. You can watch for rejection. We've got this area of supply just here. You can draw that in. Only supply. So anything up 18,300 to 18,350 for rejection. We can watch that area as well. Qs, the same really. Kind of watching. Let's move this. This is a better area for a bounce. So the bottom of that pivot. It's the bottom of that pivot. So we can watch this area for a potential bounce if we come back down to there. We are below the 50 still, so kind of shorts are more probable than longs. So I think a rejection of a 442, let's just mark that in, I quite like that, and also a reject of that 50. So this area for rejection 442, and obviously we've got this area up here if we get back up there, 446 for reject. Bounce wise, we're watching 434 to 433.50, and then potentially a break and retest of pre-market high as well. SPX 5100 is a key area. Still, you know, we held it there, we got close there, tops and bottoms of candles there. Kind of tried pulling into that area yesterday, so if we come back up into that area, either look for a reject down, which will be off the 20 and the 50, or we're looking for a break and retest long. That's it, and then we've got 5,000 as a potential bounce area, and that is a psychological number, and it's off of the 200 moving average, which is this line below, this purple line. Gold is really bullish right now. Hopefully somebody took the break and retest at that level. So right now we're kind of putting in this double top, potential double top, but it's strong. Let's look at the daily for a second. Kind of can see this setup. Potentially this kind of setup playing out. I'm sure that line goes back down to here as well if I extended it. Not far off that area. So we could watch for some sort of formation here, break and retest long. But we're a few days away from that, you know, that's saying 2025. What are we looking at the daily? So it's kind of what we're setting up on the daily. So let's ignore that, let's go back to the hourly. I thought it was the hourly, I thought it would have been too easy. We've got our rejection area up here, 2160 to 2170. That was a big spike from December. Trying to find a decent bounce. That area there. Bounce at 2118. Pull that down to that area there. Otherwise, to continue this run back, you know, if we get back down to pre-market low, we could look for a double bottom. We've got pre-market high, break and retest pre-market high as well into this rejection area. I'll just mark off the top, 2170. I don't think we've got anything else in that area. Now it looks like back to weekly again. Is that all time? It's not all time highs. 2180 and 2170. They're the two areas we're watching. And we've got 2170 and we've got 2180 just above. That's potential targets. Okay, so now let's look at oil. Oil. You can see it basing around there was area of confluence, and it's right on the 77.80 area. So look for a bounce yesterday's low, kind of coming into there. We could potentially be putting in this head and shoulders pattern if we do get down to that low, so bear in mind we have to bounce, or we can break or retest the low. So they're the two levels, 78 through to 77.50. And then rejection down at 80.40 to 80.76. They're the only areas I can see on oil. RTY, it's looking strong right now. Break and retest off the pre-market high and yesterday's high. That's probably a good decent trade that will be. And then if we come back down into the 200 area, there's 200 moving average, 2050 for a bounce. And then YM, kind of got a few areas here, probably off of the I quite like this area here. Not only is it off the 50 moving average, a rejection, and that's at 38, 838. We've got the bottoms of pivots as well, and we've got the next area. Funny how yesterday's high also came into one of the areas we're watching as well for rejection. So kind of two areas worked previously, worked yesterday, and could work today if we get out there. So 38, 3, 38. And then we got Bitcoin. This is the daily. Look at that, we made a new all-time high. Just poked through 69,000 by about $300, I think it was. 69,324 is the all-time high. So same as before, kind of got a bounce area. If we get down to 58,900, and that's when it comes back to the 20 moving average as well. But if it comes back to base, which is the 50, then we've got a couple of bounce at 53,600, and we've got one if it comes back down towards the 200 at 38,600 as well, or 40,000 basically, nice round number. So they're the areas to watch. Nothing. There's no. Potentially you could short the all-time high if it gets up there again, but not so strong. But look at the volume as well. Volume's coming in over the last few days. So volume's coming in the last few days may signify an end of a trend. We saw it there, volume, and we had a bit of a reversal. And then volume kind of down here as well. We're coming down, big volume, and then we reversed as well. So keep an eye on that. And I think that's it. Let's just look at MES quickly. Yep, so that level is invalid now. We can watch this level for pre-market high, kind of get closer. So break and retest pre-market high. The short's now off the table. I think hopefully I've been stopped out. I'll check that in a minute. Not hopefully I'm still in it. But yeah, bounce at 50.94 and a bounce at 50.68 with a possible rejection at 51.48 and a break and retest on this level. They're the only levels I'm watching really today. Okay, let's quickly see whether I'm out. No, I'm still in it. Okay. Looks a bit more dramatic on the footprint chart. So you can see what I'm looking at is we had buying imbalance there, buying imbalance. Although we are getting a bit of a positive delta on the bars, out of all this area, we didn't have that area looks like it's being rejected because there's not as many. Well, there's no sellers there, but there's only 54. At the moment, there's only 54 buyers out of 3,000 at that price level. That price level is at 51.1850. So I'll stay in this until I get stopped out, and my stop is just a 2 hour above. But I've already been stopped out of one of my oh no, I'm back in again. It must have dropped below. Oh, look at that, I'm back in. So I'm back in for 3. So my plan on this is, if I drop below that level, which I did, which is that pivot there where I got my break-even point, it will get me back into a trade. So I was hoping it would carry on. There's been no follow through. And cumulative delta was originally, I think I showed you at the beginning. Oh, my pen's not working, but cumulative delta was putting in a lower high, a lower high, and then an equal high, while the price is putting in higher highs every time. And now it kind of looked like it's turning around. So we've got big cumulative delta and smaller price rise, so it looks like it wants to push up. So I'll probably look to cut this trade soon. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll be back hopefully later with my trade recap. I've been a bit slack on them recently. Also, following this video, I'll stream the order flow and my day trading live as well. So it'll be the next stream after this. Okay, thank you for watching.